What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I am back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the red color, playing as set. His name is Joe. On the other side of the map in the blue color, playing as Oranos, is Shelty. It's currently 1-1 between these Titans of players. Joe winning one game, playing a very efficient set, and Shelty winning one game, playing some very impressive Poseidon. However, Shelty's shaking things up right now, switching his gods up, trying to play some Oranos here to take down Joe's set, change things up, shake up Joe's play. Joe was playing the same strategy both games, just so happens that he executed like 300 real rate better in the second game than the first game. So we'll see what he can pull off right here. We do have the priest finding an elephant straight away. The one of the negatives about playing Oranos is you cannot really stop this priest because you don't have access to that Catastropus scout or an Ulfsark, or I guess your own pharaoh could move up, but basically you have to heroize the oracle scout in order to take this priest off the hunt, and you also have to find the priest, which is incredibly difficult with these scouts because they are very slow scouts. If we check out Sheltie's perspective right now, you can see how much of the map is scouted in 1 minute and 30 seconds. While it's 3 separate areas, the Catastropus scout can pretty much have scouted all of this center here and have maybe stopped the elephant. However, elephant is up now. The elephant can now start harassing these scouts and really shutting down line of sight of... Actually, why is he not attacking that? Anyways, he's going to try and defend maybe the priest or something, but the scouts are on the move. We're going to be seeing a fairly standard play here from Shelty. It looks like he's going 2 villagers food, 1 villager gold, 1 villager wood, and then 3 villagers food for the 4:30 advance time. Oracle Scout getting a little bit caught out there by Joe's town center. I've got to be happy about that one. Scout's going to be moving over into this location. Elephant is running around here. Has found the other elephant. So once this priest is finished with the lion, it would be a great idea to steal that elephant as well. Pretty sure the conversion time on lions versus the elephant is less. So I think you can get these lions very fast, and the lions could potentially pick off these scouts. I would be very interested to see if Joe's going for... He's going for a very fast advance time here. No wood, the standard Joe play. But the big difference between Oranos and Poseidon is Oranos is very weak to early priest pharaoh aggression, as opposed to Poseidon, who can simply just build a Hippolyta in order to defend, right? Whereas Oranos can't really do that. Oranos has access to Prometheans straight away, and then he has to actually get out barracks and counter barracks in order to defend, and by that stage you could potentially have been pushed off the gold mine in your home base. So we'll see if Joe decides to get aggressive onto Shelty's base with those early priests, or if he decides to go for a fast second town center. It'll be very interesting to see which one he does choose to do here. We've got some IW military here just scouting out over here. Going to be picking off these deer gazelles. Sorry, it does not necessarily hurt that much if Shelty comes over here and starts gathering from them. But if you check out the... Actually, I don't think you can see you can't see how much they lose, but they do lose one. I think it's 1 food every 3 seconds, maybe every 4. Yeah, maybe 2 or 3 seconds. So it's definitely okay strategy. We are seeing Tar coming through right now for Joe, and Shelty is coming through Prometheus. So this is going to be fairly standard. We have quite a few villages on gold for Joe here. However, he is not grabbing his priests. So he's going to be going for a second town center. This town center is quite good to be fair. This gold mine, if you can grab this town center and grab this gold mine, is completely secured. There's also arrows of the Alpha, which is 20% building pierce attack upgraded, which is huge if you're using this town center to defend this gold mine. So this second town center play is fairly good for Joe here. However, the big question is, Can the military barracks and counter barracks get up in time to start harassing this town center or not? We'll see what happens here. These villagers are going to be dumping those resources into the gold, and they're going to be moving over onto this hunt. There is already an Oracle Scout over here to check that one out. We're seeing the Promethean offspring coming in right now. There is an elephant already over here who can fend off these Promethean offspring. You can also get the villagers to simply just attack back onto these Promethean offspring simply because they don't do that much damage. It's 5 damage versus 8 damage, and there's 80 HP, so it's kind of a victory for the villagers. We are seeing the Pharaoh come in now. He's going to be dealing quite a bit of damage, actually not dealing any damage because apparently Promethean's offspring can dodge. Verify, I didn't realize that. Anyways, the Wadget going to be trying to clean this one up. Priest going to come in here and actually clean up the Promethean offspring there. That's going to be quite nice. We are seeing Valor getting cast now. Unfortunately, catching I guess it doesn't matter which villager it is, but maybe you want the gold villager instead of the wood villager getting the upgraded resources, but we'll see what happens there. The unit's going to move out now. I'm going to try move over onto these villages because you can see this one. Joe now has his second town center up, and he's going to be gathering fruit from this elephant. Wouldn't be a bad idea to simply retreat here. Does Joe have any idea? Joe doesn't know that this is scouted, so he's going to be in for a little bit of a surprise here as Shelty's going to move in with these units. However, he's going to be looking like he runs just out of line of sight, or potentially he saw it. Potentially he did see it, but he's not reacting, so units are going to be onto his villagers straight away, which is going to be a little bit sad for Joe, but he's still not reacting. He's going to be taking these villagers off the food and shifting sands into the town center and then garrisoning them, so he's not actually going to lose any villagers there. Nice play there by Joe to save them, but now he's down to god power. Now the military barracks the barracks are coming up, and those are going to start producing some slingers or some axemen. I'm pretty sure that is the way to go. Yeah, axemen are coming out, and then slingers on top of that. We don't have that much wood in the bank. These villagers have been taken off the food and moved onto the wood. Does he have hand axe coming through? No hand axe just yet. He's got so much food in the bank, so he can actually start affording to spend that on those resources, but he does also need to get out that pickaxe soon. So I'm feeling like no, slingers are getting produced, so he doesn't want to get pickaxe just yet, unless he already has it. No, he doesn't have it, so that's cool. The next question is, what is Shelty going to do next? He's grabbing his second town center. Okay, so he's trying to keep up with that economy. I guess this is the standard play. We are seeing an armory blocking these units from moving forward, and unfortunately Shelty not paying attention here. These units kind of need to get out of here. This town center does a lot of damage. And they're completely caught as well. Nice building placement right there from Shelty. Shockwave having to be cast in order to save these guys' life, and that's just going to be it. These guys can't really do all that much in the base of Joe at the moment. I guess they can come onto these units here, but apart from that, that's going to be it. And I guess Joe can maybe just chase them around. Watchtowers here already. Is pickaxe going to come through? No, hand axe has been researched. Villagers are pumping very, very fast. Units kind of sitting here idle for Shelty. Shelty going to move in, try and pick off some of these villagers, but they can be microed away very fast. And you can see as they're running away, these Terma are very inaccurate and don't do that much damage to the villagers. Armory is up now for Joe as well. So it looks like he could potentially be going to that next age. And if we check out Shelty's perspective, getting that town center up fairly soon. He's already got the 4 villages on food, so he's going to be able to start supporting 2 town centers worth of citizen production, keeping that economy going. But Joe is just like coming out of control right now. 3rd town center coming up before the 2nd town center is finished. So he's sniffed out the 2nd town center is coming through, and he wants to get that 3rd town center up, get that economy pumping. And you can see how strong this is. He can produce 2 barracks worth of slingers while producing 2 town centers worth of villages, and also have a couple of axemen in there just to put some pain onto those Mermillo there. So that's going to be huge for Joe, but I guess the question right now is going to be, is Shelty going to go for his own... Okay, he's going to go for his own 3rd town center. I was going to say, is he going to go for 3 town centers, or is he going to rush Mythic Age? If you rush Mythic Age, you can cast a Tartarian Gate on this location while attacking this location, and you can kind of make it difficult for him for Joe to be gathering gold mines. Oh, this is sneaky. There's a little opening here. I wonder if Joe knows about that or not. if we check out Joe's perspective, Joe doesn't know that this is a thing. So Shelty's going to just sneak in here and he's going to be able to do some damage onto these units. However, if he does notice that that's how it happened, he can just send a unit up here and build another armory up in this location. It does look like these villages are going to take a lot of pain. This is actually huge right now. If Shelty can take advantage of this and just like come in here and prevent this location from being walled off, and this location from being walled off, he can actually effectively kick off this gold mine because these town centers are not in range. But there's so many slingers right now. Shelty has to get out of here. Shelty is getting that second town center up, and he's sitting at 100 population to Joe's 104 population. Joe's got so much gold in the bank. I really feel like Joe needs to think about putting less villages on gold in this build, because it just it's brutal. He always winds up with so much gold. I guess he has to build farms as well, but he could sit at more food at this point and get to the heroic age even faster. He's got 37 villages on food, but just imagine if it was like 45 with like 9 villages on gold or something like that. We are going to be seeing Shelty. This looks like Joe has found the passage through here. I'm pretty sure Shelty will have... Oh, no, he doesn't have access to prosperity just yet. And now Joe's going to be searching this one out, seeing where he can cut this location off. But there is also this location to run through as well. So that's going to be cute as well. But it looks like potentially Joe could just chuck an armory up here or a barracks or a wall in order to cut off this location. And that's going to be that cute little tactic shut down there. But Shelty now sitting on those 3 town centers. His economy is looking fairly decent, 766 already. But Joe's going to be sitting at full villager population very, very soon. He's got almost 80 villages here, and then the heroic age is going to be coming through. Nephthys is coming through at the 12-minute mark, so he's going to be hitting Nephthys 12 minutes and 20 seconds, full population of villages. Absolutely brutal. Having farms set up, got the gold income all ready to chuck these farms up as well. As you can see, they're pumping. It's not a bad idea at this point to now transition those villages back over to gold, because you're going to need to throw down Migdol strongholds, but it could be potentially the option of Joe to simply just jump straight to the Mythic Age as well. And if you go straight to the Mythic Age through Horus, you could then Horus this town center here, or this town center here, and cut off gold and use ancestors and all that other good stuff. But Shelty, on the other hand, he needs to start thinking about getting to that next age for some reason. Or he's going through Hyperion, so he's there. He's keeping up with the teching. However, Joe's got 137 population right now, so Joe's sitting in a little bit of a better position than Shelty just on sheer population. But these units coming in right now, trying to pick off these slingers. But it looks like there's too many slingers. Nephthys comes through. Is the market coming up straight away? What's the play? Yeah, market's got to be coming up straight away. Siege Workshop, the option right now. Where is that market? Not yet up. Looks like Joe not paying enough attention to that. Maybe it looks like all of his food is run out. He does have some giraffe set. It could be an option for Joe to simply produce some more giraffe set from his pharaoh here in order to get the rest of the food out, in order to get to the Mythic Age. But looks like that's not what's going on here. We're seeing Monuments of the Soldiers coming up as well, so it could potentially be going for Avengers. We're also seeing Feral coming through, which means that he's going to have access to a lot of those hunt units, like Rhino or Set being absolutely brutal. They're really, really strong units against Atlantean, because Atlantean can't use their villagers very well to defeat them. The villagers do have a really strong bonus against animals, but they're like generally aren't close to the fight. But it does look like this concave here is too much for Shelty to deal with. We are seeing a palace now coming up for Shelty. Shelty's also, he's not close to the Mythic Age at all. He's got max villages, but not quite there. We do see that Chaos is available for when Mythic Age comes through for Joe, and Joe's just about to hit that Mythic Age there. We are seeing Horus is coming through, and you can just see the resources just continue to pile in for Joe at this point, spending so much stuff. We're seeing Shockwave does get cast. Medium Contarius here. I do like that he's managed to produce some Contarius here. We don't normally see these units, and these units are very, very strong against what Joe's got, and Joe now has to build Spearmen, and this is going to be brutal right now. We're seeing Chaos does get cast. He does catch out some of these slingers, but the Ancestors are going to be a very difficult unit to pick off without any heroes. And if you check out Sheltie's economy, he doesn't really have the resources here to convert these units into heroes. He's spending them way too fast. And also Satyr are here, and he has produced quite a few of them. There are some priests here at this point, but Joe's going to have to use his Horus on this location in order to defend it. We're going to start seeing some destroyers coming out, and in combination with these Cantarius, it's very hard to defeat the Cantarius destroyer unit composition as Egyptian, because you need to have Axemen and Spearmen. If you only build the Axemen to defeat the Cantarius shred through them. So we'll see if that's kind of what Sheltie's plan is here. However, it does look like there's potentially enough units here to push through. And then he's going to try and do this. He does have 4 siege towers, but the Cantarius, do they have a bonus against siege? No, they don't have a bonus against siege, but they do have hack attack, which does basically nullify siege towers. You can see all these siege towers are getting killed very, very fast. Priests are doing a lot of damage, and now we've also got the destroyers out. And the destroyers are going to be able to pick off these units very, very easily. However, Horus is here. And is he going to use Horus on this location, or does he think potentially he could just build out some catapult here in order to take down this palace and then defend? More priests are pumping out for Joe at this point. How is Shelty looking? He's looking very, very good right now. He's got a lot of resources in the bank. Potentially would be a better idea to just take 4 of those wood villages off wood and chuck them onto farms in order to get more food, because your army is strictly food-based at this point. You've got Cantarius food, you've got Destroyers food. You don't want to be building Terma, don't want to be building Arcus. We do see the villagers are pumping out right now from that palace and going to be taking down those siege towers very, very fast. They have a, 200% bonus versus siege, which is huge. They do 8 damage plus 200. All of those siege towers are down. Barracks are falling for Joe right now. Can Joe defend against this at this point? We are seeing that the food villages have been swapped over, or the wood villages have been swapped over kind of slow here. We are seeing catapult is out, and this is the issue right now in sieging on this location. Once the catapult come out, you can't really defend this palace that well, and that's going to probably force Shelty back. He may want to consider building up another palace at some point in order to get more destroyers potentially back here, just so he can build up those destroyers in order to take siege through this location. But looks like, as we can see, the second catapult is out. This palace is going to be going down. I'm not sure where the Avenger went, to be fair. If we check out Joe, I didn't see the Avenger. I must have missed it. Maybe he sent it for a raid and it got picked off, or like chaos or something. But the priests are out now. Do they have funeral rites? They do have funeral rites. So these Satyr take a lot of pain. But Joe is actually struggling to support the unit production here. And most of what Shelty has got in this situation is going to be enough to pick off what Joe's got. If we check out Shelty's perspective, but the issue kind of is that Shelty's stuck in the class in the heroic age, producing this much stuff is going to be a big deal. He does have all these villages here. He can chuck up that palace yet again, and you kind of just want it up so you can build the destroyers. That being said, though, I think Cantarius do have an upgrade. I'm not sure which god you need for it, but they can get a bonus siege damage if you get that upgrade. You may need Hero Cantarius to have it as well, so you have to heroize the Hero Cantarius. It's kind of like a late game play. You just build like 10 Cantarius, heroize them, and then you go and raid your opponent's houses or something, and it's pretty brutal. We are seeing yet again these priests just being absolutely brutal to these Satyr. He has to pick off the priest somehow. These Cantarius are doing work though, coming in here and taking up the brunt of the damage. Do need the medium term to focus down these chariot archers. Generally what you want to do with these medium termer is grab 4 of them, target a couple of chariot archers with the shift commands, get the other 4, target the other chariots with the shift commands, and it's gonna kind of be fine there. But it does look like Shelty is slowing down at this point, not really able to support this for some reason. Looks like he's run out of gold or something. He's producing the units. He's sitting at 100 population at this point. So it does look like his economy has taken quite a bit of a hit. We check out, yeah, that's the reason there. He does not have that many economic upgrades. If we check out Joe's economic upgrades, on the other hand, he's sitting at nearly max, so he's got quite a few. We've also that's actually why he was saving resources to go through Hecate. Definitely want to cast this chaos down here and cause some issues on the back line of Joe's chariot archers. We've got some archers pumping out now. Shelty is opting to go to the Mythic Age and relieve the pressure on Joe, but Joe's going to be capitalizing on this. Migdol Stronghold coming up right now. Also, we still haven't seen the tornado yet from Joe. He's also got vision, so he could even potentially take a guess on which town center he wants to kill to stop the Mythic Age. But Chaos getting cast over here. Going to pick off a couple of those units, but these units are actually going to be doing quite a bit of work here. We see the Chariot Archer picking off a Priest here, which is going to be quite nice. But Shelty sitting at 126 population here, trying to push through. Hecate does come through, and where is the line of sight? He does have line of sight right here. Oh, I don't know if I like this. You don't want to put the Tartarian Gate close to a town center, because then the Tartarian Gate can get taken down pretty easily. But it does look like this is going to be all the villages pulled off the food here. It's going to be a little bit of relieved pressure in this location, because it means that Joe can't really afford to pump out the food villages. You can see he's only got 14 food villages, and he's also pumping out camel caravans. So we can utilize this by then shifting straight into a bunch of Cantarius in order to push through here, because you know that the spearmen aren't going to be that prevalent, but it does look like this location is going to be cleaned up fairly fast. We do see priests are already out, and the mercenary cavalry going to be enough here. Not even losing that many villages in this location. Joe can also rebuild these villages. We'll just chuck them right into that town center and then back onto the farms, and he's going to be in a great position here. He's also still got his tornado. However, the medium arcus are out, fire siphon are out, and Shelty is trying to push through here, but it does look like Joe is going to be able to thwart that attack, and he's just not ready to push through at this point. I think he needs to reorganize his economy. He's got 38 villages on gold. Does need to get some villages onto the on the wood, in order to pump out some of those siege weapons. I guess he doesn't need it because he has tornado, and he can kind of use that to push through on here. And he does want to get out those Horus upgrades. We can check out those coming through fairly soon, surely. Going to be a little bit of an interesting army decision there, pulling those spearmen backwards instead of keeping them in the front of his army here. Might be worth using like box formation or something, so that the Cantarius can't get onto his chariot archers. For some reason, Joe is deciding to chill here, maybe wanting to upgrade some of those units. If we check out all of the barracks, so if we're not seeing anything pumping out here, but he's spending favor on something. Oh, he's going through Titan. Okay, he's going for a Titan gate here. This is smart, because it means that Shelty can't actually follow him, because Tornado is still a choice. It's still active here. If Shelty goes for his own Titan Gate, then that means that basically all Joe has to do is grab a couple of these Chariot Archers, send it to the Titan Gate, and tornado it, and it's finished. Whereas Shelty can't do that at all. Shelty can't stop the Titan Gate at all. So the Titan Gate's a big trump card here for Joe. And not only that, but Joe can also continue to push, because he doesn't even have to use all of his villages to build it. He can just grab some of those gold villages here that he doesn't really need, because he's got so many camel caravans. Just use those to build the Titan Gate, and he can still push forward. He might want to consider stopping the camel caravans, though. He doesn't want to have too many at this point. Otherwise, he's going to have population to actually do all too much. But we do see a little palace coming in here. Nice little cheeky palace side build. We're going to see some destroyers come out. Maybe try and pick off some of those houses. One option here for Shelty would be to get the Contarius to run through here and then try and pick off the town center. There was a path here, but it does look like Shelty decides to tap out, because he realizes he's going to be a little bit too slow to get over there and stop the Titan Gate straight away. And if he doesn't get the Titan Gate down straight away, that's a Titan he can't deal with, and he decides to tap out a little bit early, but it does look like Joe is maybe too far ahead. If we check out the armory upgrades as well, it's quite clearly, I guess it's not clearly in favor of Joe, so he's not that far behind, but far behind on the economy for sure. I think this strategy that Joe employs is very much a metagame strategy. So what he's doing is he's seeing what the Oranos players' standard play is, and then he's trying to cut corners as much as he possibly can. So what he does is he knows that he can get this second town center up really, really fast, and then he knows that if he's got a second gold mine to basically, he's got a second gold mine that he doesn't have to worry about defending because his town center is defending it. He can then grab this third town center before the second town center gets up. So his villagers pump out really, really fast. So what the Oranos players need to think about doing, because obviously what Shelty did here, where he grabs his second town center at a certain point, grabs his third town center at a certain point while he has army, is just not cutting it. So they need to think about shaking things up, potentially staying one town center, going for like some sort of siege push through this location to then take out this location here. I'm not sure. Oranos players have got some work to do to deal with this kind of metagame strategy. I don't think playing straight ahead here for Oranos is the way to go. Maybe the other option would be to go for a fast Titan with going through Thea. So what you do is you go max Terma, you go 3 town centers very, very fast. You go through Thea, you put a Hesperids tree down here, you put a Titan gate down. When you get to the Titan Age, you put the Titan gate down, you put the other Hesperids tree next to it. That way, no tornado can be used on it to kill it, no meteor can be used to kill it. You get the Titan out, then you push through this location. The only issue is that Set could do exactly this strategy. I guess maybe you can put the pressure on with the Terma, so you are still putting pressure on, so it's good, but I'm not sure that that's the way. But that's my guess. That's my gut instinct. Is a fast Titan would potentially be the way to get through here, like kind of like reminiscent of Cyclone's strategy back in the day. Maybe a way to go. Anyways, if you enjoyed this game, please rate, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you enjoyed my video and want to see it when it comes out, as soon as it comes out. My name is Boit, and I will see you guys next time.